Hello, my name is Rachel Vex and I'm the founder of Educating Matters. So today is World Book Day and I've just delivered my annual talk for a big corporate client to support all their employees who are parents to learn how to really help to instill in their children a love of books. Now, as a primary school teacher and having taught a lot of children how to read, I've always been really passionate about helping parents to instill in their children a genuine love of reading in a fun and non-pressurized way. And my actual business, before it was called Educating Matters, was called Reading Matters, and I very much focused on literacy. I want to share with you just a few ideas on how to engage children in reading. Now, the most important thing, it's all about finding the right book. So every time your child reads a book that's boring, too challenging, totally disinteresting, then they're not going to be encouraged to read it again. But when they've experienced one book that they absolutely love and can't put down, that's going to encourage them to want to do it more, to read similar books by the same author, or perhaps to develop a particular interest in a certain genre. And I appreciate it's really challenging for kids today when screens are so engaging and exciting and enticing. Sometimes just reading a book can feel a little bit boring. So it's finding that right book, maybe linked to their interest, making sure that it's pitched at the right level, it's challenging enough, but not too difficult. Spending time introducing books to them, chatting to their peers, going to a specialist bookshop, taking them to the library, reading reviews online by kids of their age to see what books they might really enjoy. And reading is not only about reading a book. So what you're trying to do as a parent is just get your children into the habit of reading something, whatever it is. So if it's the back of a cereal packet, if it's just signposts in the street, if it's instructions to a game, if it's the sports pages or a magazine article, or a recipe. It's just getting them into the habit of reading anything, and also both fiction and non-fiction. The other thing I always advise parents is, even when your child has learnt the mechanics of reading for themselves, don't stop reading to them. So I read to my 12-year-old last night, even though of course she can read, but continuing to read aloud to them. It's a really lovely moment for you to connect with your child. And also when they can read, it gives you an opportunity to still work on their comprehension skills. Things like developing inference and beginning to develop their opinions about a book. If your child doesn't really like reading for themselves, maybe share the reading. So say, for every sentence you read, I will read 3, or why don't you read a chapter and then I'll read the next 2. It's also really important to know that you're a role model for your children. And because we lead such busy lives, how often do our children actually see us reading? And a lot of the time that we read on a screen, so they may not actually realise that we're reading a book or reading a newspaper. And it's particularly important for fathers to be seen to be reading in front of their sons. One of the other bits of advice I would give is to really make time for reading as a family. So perhaps at the weekend, and I used to do this with my 4 children when they were younger, if we were maybe on a Sunday or on holiday, to actually have family reading time where we're all sitting together but reading our own things. One of you might be reading a report from work or a newspaper. You may have a young child who can't read for themselves but they're flicking through a picture book. But everyone is sitting reading together. So you're actually making sure that they're not overburdened with too many structured activities, and at the end of the day, by the time they've come home, had some downtime, had some screen time, done their homework, had a bath and everything else, that there is actually time allocated for reading to happen. I promise you that reading is the most amazing gift that you can give your child. A child that enjoys reading develops in so many other areas. It stimulates their imagination, their vocabulary, their empathy and understanding of others, and will help them in all areas of the curriculum. And you, as parents, play the most important role in setting them up on the right path. So wishing you the best of luck. There are a few more tips on reading on my website, educatingmatters.co.uk. And happy World Book Day. Thank you.